In December 2009, the world woke up to a piece of news that didn't make sense, the kind that felt like it couldn't possibly be true. Actress Brittany Murphy, known for her infectious energy and unforgettable roles in Clueless, 8 Mile, and Girl, Interrupted, had died suddenly at just 32 years old. The initial report said it was from pneumonia and anemia. But almost immediately, something about her death felt off. The more details emerged, the stranger it all became, until Brittany's passing started to sound less like a tragedy, and more like a Hollywood mystery. To understand why her death still haunts Hollywood, you have to go back to who Brittany Murphy really was. She burst onto the scene in the mid-1990s, stealing hearts with her quirky charm and big brown eyes. Her performance as Ty in Clueless made her one of the most promising young actresses of her generation. She wasn't your typical Hollywood starlet, she was awkward, goofy, and entirely real. People loved her for it. In an industry built on perfection, Brittany was refreshingly human. Her career soared. She starred opposite Eminem in 8 Mile, showing the world she could handle gritty drama as well as comedy. She was in Just Married, Sin City, Don't Say a Word, the kind of actress who could light up any scene she was in. But behind the bubbly personality and infectious laughter, those close to her say Brittany was struggling. Hollywood was changing, and Brittany, the girl who didn't quite fit the mold, began to feel pushed out. Around the early 2000s, rumors started to swirl. Tabloids began targeting her, calling her erratic, unstable, even addicted. Paparazzi followed her everywhere, painting her as another, troubled young starlet. Studio executives, influenced by gossip and image, began to back away. Roles became harder to find. And that's when she met Simon Monjack, a mysterious British screenwriter with a controversial past. To her friends, their whirlwind relationship seemed strange from the start. Simon was older, eccentric, and controlling. He swept her off her feet, promising to protect her from Hollywood's cruelty. They married in 2007, but soon after, people noticed Brittany pulling away from everyone she used to trust. Friends said Simon kept her isolated, cutting off contact with her mother, agents, and colleagues. By 2009, the once vibrant starlet seemed like a ghost of her former self. Interviews showed her voice trembling, her body frail, her eyes tired. Yet, despite the visible decline, Brittany would smile and insist everything was fine. She was working on independent films and dreaming of a comeback. But her health was clearly deteriorating. Then came December 20, 2009. That morning, a frantic 911 call came from Brittany's home in the Hollywood Hills. Her mother, Sharon, was screaming into the phone. Brittany had collapsed in the bathroom. Paramedics arrived, but it was too late. The 32-year-old actress was pronounced dead at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. The cause, according to the coroner, pneumonia, anemia, and multiple drug intoxication. Prescription medications, a mix of over-the-counter cough syrup, painkillers, and anti-anxiety pills, were found in her system. Nothing illegal. Nothing scandalous. Just a deadly combination of common medicines and severe illness. But few believed that was the full story. For one thing, Brittany was young and otherwise healthy. Friends said she didn't seem sick, at least not deathly ill. And the official narrative, that she died from untreated pneumonia, didn't explain the bizarre circumstances surrounding her final days. Her home, for instance, was reportedly infested with black mold. Some claimed the air quality was so bad it could have contributed to her respiratory issues. But the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office later dismissed that theory. Others pointed to her husband, Simon Monjack, whose reputation for manipulation and financial scams made him a prime suspect in public speculation. And then came the strangest twist of all. Just 5 months after Brittany's death, Simon Monjack was found dead in the same house, in the same bedroom. The cause? Pneumonia and anemia, the exact same conditions that killed Brittany. It was almost too eerie to believe. 2 people, dying the same way, in the same home, within months of each other. Hollywood couldn't stop talking. Theories exploded online. Was it a coincidence? A hidden illness? Poison? Or something darker? Even Brittany's father, Angelo Bertolotti, refused to accept the official explanation. He believed his daughter had been murdered. In 2013, he commissioned a private toxicology report, and the results were shocking. According to the lab, Brittany's hair contained elevated levels of heavy metals, including barium and antimony, substances commonly found in rat poison. The findings fueled speculation that Brittany and Simon might have been poisoned. The Los Angeles coroner's office, however, rejected that conclusion. They stood by their original findings. But for those who knew Brittany, the unanswered questions lingered. Why hadn't she seen a doctor when she was so ill? Why were so many prescription drugs found in her system, drugs prescribed to both her and Simon? Why did her mother, Sharon, continue to live in the same house even after 2 deaths? And most unsettling of all, why did Sharon and Simon appear so close in the days following Brittany's passing, giving joint interviews and even sharing a bed, according to some reports? The confusion deepened when people revisited the 911 call. The tone of the voices, the chaotic background, it didn't sound like a household caught off guard by tragedy, but rather one that had already been living in a nightmare for months. Then there was the house itself. The mansion once belonged to Britney Spears, and rumor had it that Brittany believed the home was haunted, so much so that she moved out after experiencing disturbing events there. She claimed the place had bad energy. Brittany bought it shortly after, unaware of the eerie reputation it carried. After both deaths, the home's strange history only deepened the legend. In the years that followed, Brittany's legacy took on a ghostly kind of immortality. Documentaries revisited her life, each one peeling back new layers of her mystery. Friends and co-workers described her as kind, generous, and sensitive, the kind of person who just wanted to make people happy. But the people around her, they said, took advantage of that innocence. Simon Monjack, in particular, became the center of blame. Former colleagues accused him of controlling Brittany's finances, alienating her from work, and surrounding her with paranoia. Some even alleged that Simon convinced her she was blacklisted in Hollywood, an excuse to keep her dependent on him. Whether true or not, it painted a heartbreaking picture of a star fading away under emotional and psychological strain. In 2021, HBO released a documentary titled What Happened, Brittany Murphy, shedding light on her final months. The interviews were disturbing. Former friends described how Monjack forbade Brittany from using her phone or leaving the house alone. He reportedly refused to let her see a doctor even when she was visibly sick. According to those close to her, Brittany's death was the culmination of months of isolation, exhaustion, and neglect. Her mother, Sharon Murphy, has remained largely silent in recent years, fueling even more speculation. Did she know what was happening? Was she protecting her daughter, or protecting herself? No one can say for sure. More than a decade later, the questions still echo. How could a young, talented, seemingly healthy actress die so suddenly, and why did her husband follow the same fate, in the same place, under the same circumstances? Was it illness? Neglect? Poison? Or the dark side of Hollywood swallowing yet another bright light? What we do know is this: Brittany Murphy was more than a mystery. She was a woman who radiated warmth and kindness in an industry that often devours both. Her laugh was real, her smile unforced, and her talent undeniable. But behind those qualities lay a fragility that fame only worsened. In a way, Brittany's story became symbolic of a certain kind of Hollywood tragedy, where innocence meets power, and light is consumed by shadow. Her death, with all its unanswered questions, became a reminder of how easily fame can isolate, how quickly the people meant to protect can turn into walls that suffocate. To this day, fans leave flowers on her Hollywood Walk of Fame star and share clips of her brightest moments online: her laugh in Clueless, her power in 8 Mile, her warmth in Uptown Girls. In those moments, it's almost like she's still here, vibrant, alive, eternal. But the mystery remains. The Los Angeles Hills have seen their share of tragedies, but Brittany Murphy's death still stands apart, because it never quite made sense. Too many contradictions. Too many questions without answers. Too many eerie coincidences to ever dismiss. Maybe one day the truth will come out, or maybe, like so many Hollywood mysteries, it will stay buried beneath the glitz and gossip, whispered only by those who were there. Until then, Brittany Murphy's story stands as a haunting cautionary tale of love, fame, and the darkness that sometimes hides behind the camera lights. because in Hollywood, even angels can fall,